She has co-written 11 UK number ones. She's the first British female artist with no singles at number one in the United Kingdom and has sold more than 30 million albums as a solo artist. Welcome to the final episode of Life After Spice of Mariel Talks Pop. This time, covering the solo career of Melanie C, also known as Sporty Spice. After bumping into Canadian singer Bryan Adams in an elevator in Los Angeles back in 1998, Melanie C was asked to record a song with him, which he immediately accepted without even knowing what the song was about or even listening to a demo. The two recorded When You're Gone between June and August of 1998 and released it on November 30 of that year. The song peaked at number 3 on the UK singles chart and made it to the top 20 in 15 countries. After the success of When You're Gone, Mel C felt ready to release music of her own. In 1999, Melanie got signed to Virgin Records and began working on her solo studio album. On September 27 of 1999, she released her debut single called Going Down, a rock song that sounded completely different to the work she had done with the Spice Girls. Going Down peaked at number 4 on the UK singles chart and even made it to the top 30 in Australia. Melanie's debut album Northern Star was released on October 18 of 1999, peaking at number 18 on the UK albums chart and receiving positive reviews by music critics. The album was a mix of pop, rock, dance, and R&B music.
I'm really happy with this album. I think it's the best album that I could make at this time in my life. It's my first album, I've got to remember that. Yeah. I've done 2 albums now with the Spice Girls, so I'm still new to this game, but it's a game that I want to stay in. And so if this one doesn't do too well, I'll keep on, I'll make more music. As long as I'm making music and I think it's good quality and it should be out there, then it will be out there. And luckily enough, like you said, I've got some money, so it's not make or break, really, in that respect. I can go on to make future albums.
The second single, Northern Star, was released in the winter of 1999, peaking at number 4 on the UK singles chart. The song sold around 200,000 copies, and even though it received positive reviews, her record label thought about ending the album's promotion, but then decided to release Never Be the Same Again as the third single to see if the album could achieve higher sales. They took the right decision. Never Be the Same Again would become an international success, topping the charts not only in the UK but in other 7 countries. The song, which featured the late Lisa Left Eye Lopez from TLC, became the 18th best-selling song of 2000. The fourth single, I Turn to You, would also become a chart topper in the UK, Austria, Denmark, the Netherlands, and Sweden. I Turn to You was released as the Hex Hector radio mix, for which Hex Hector won the 2001 Grammy as a Remixer of the Year. The fifth and final single, If That Were Me, only made it to number 18 on the charts. However, the proceeds from its sales went to the Kanadu Arts charity. Mel C spent most of 2000 and 2001 promoting her debut album, touring around the world. After the success of Northern Star, Melanie C was considered the only Spice Girl to have established a steady successful career as a solo artist, since her other bandmates were already dropped from Virgin Records. Melanie began working on her second studio album, stating that she wanted to keep that pop-rock style from her debut album. After being diagnosed with depression and staying home for a few months to recover, on February 24 of 2003, her new single, Here It Comes Again, was released. The song peaked at number 7 on the UK singles chart and had heavy promotion on radio and TV shows. Melanie's second studio album, Reason, was released on March 10 of 2003, peaking at number 5 on the UK albums chart. Melanie said that she was happy with having some of the Northern Star composers and producers of Reason, as well as working with new ones like David Arnold, Tor Johansson, and Peter Dattes. Although the album didn't do as well as her previous, it did manage to release 2 more singles, On the Horizon and the double A-side single Melt and Yeah Yeah Yeah, which peaked at number 14 and number 27 respectively.
But after, I've been dying to get this music out because I started writing in November 2001, and, from day one, it just started going really well. In fact, Here It Comes Again was one of the first songs that I wrote with Mariel C. And so since that day, I've been gagging to get it out. And it's finally something out there.
Due to the low sales, Melanie got dropped from Virgin Records, but that didn't stop her to keep on releasing music. She felt that it was time to start her own label, and so she created the independent record label Red Go Records. to record and release her own projects, alongside her manager, Nancy Phillips. Melanie's third album, Beautiful Intentions, was released on April 11 of 2005, peaking at number 24 on the UK albums chart. The album was a big commercial success in Europe, charting in the top 20 in Austria, Germany, Scotland, Switzerland, and Portugal, outselling her previous album, Reason. Beautiful Intentions spawned the top 10 single Next Best Superstar, as well as Better Alone and First Day of My Life, which were popular releases in other European countries.
I think with this being my third album, I've had quite a lot of time to reflect on all the experiences that I've had in my life, including my music and touring and everything. And with it being on my own label, it felt like such a fresh new start. And I really sat down and thought about what I wanted to achieve with this album.
This time, Melanie's fourth studio album was released on March 30 of 2007, peaking at number 57 on the UK albums chart. The album followed the footsteps of its predecessors with pop-rock sounds and deep lyrics. This time spawned 5 singles: The Moment You Believe, I Want Candy, Carolina, This Time, and Understand.
Because that's kind of poppy, isn't it? And your own music is a bit more rock and roll, isn't it?
Yeah,
really?
well, my last album was quite rocky, but this album that's coming out on the 2nd of April, it's called This Time, is a little bit softer. So it's very different to that single again. I've done some more acoustic stuff, more atmospheric stuff. I wanted to just show a softer side, because I'm feeling a bit softer, a bit more feminine now I'm getting older.
On June 2007, the Spice Girls announced that they were reuniting to embark on a worldwide concert tour, The Return of the Spice Girls. After the reunion with the Spice Girls, Melanie embarked on the This Time tour, performing in 9 Canadian cities. It would take 4 years to see Melanie returning with new music. Her 5th studio album, The C, was released on September 2 of 2011. The C was a more pop-oriented album with some dance elements. For this production, Melanie worked with James Walsh, Guy Chambers, and Spice World producer Richard Stanner and Andy Chatterley. The album peaked at number 45 on the UK albums chart, spawning 4 singles, including Rock Me, Think About It, Weak, and Let There Be Love.
But it's a real mix, it's quite diverse. It's a pop album, but I love so many styles of music. There's a bit of a rock influence in places, there's some dance influences, it's quite electronic, some of the production, there's some atmospheric moments, there is a beautiful string arrangement throughout the record. So I think it's kind of me at my best. It reminds me more of my first album, Northern Star, than anything else I've done.
On September 7 of 2012, Melanie released her 6th studio album, Stages, a cover album, which features a collection of songs covers from various musical theater shows and films. The album peaked at number 50 on the UK albums chart and peaked at number 7 on the indie albums chart. The album's official lead single, I Know Him So Well, which featured her bandmate Emma Bunton, peaked at number 153 on the UK singles chart. The two performed the song live on various TV shows such as Loose Women, This Morning, The Alan Titchmarsh Show, and the BBC Children in Need. Melanie released a live album on 2013 called Live at Shepherd's Bush Empire, and then her 7th studio album, Version of Me, in 2016. Version of Me peaked at number 25 on the albums chart. Melanie embarked on the Version of Me tour in April of 2017. She visited 14 cities in Europe and also visited Mexico City for the first time in her solo career. I was lucky to see her live that day. What a blessing. Version of Me spawned the singles Anymore, Dear Life, Hold On, and Room for Love.
And how would you describe this album compared to the previous 5? You're on album number 6. How is it different?
Well, I set out with this album to try and achieve something quite different in its sound. I wanted to do something which was more electronic, and I went back to lots of artists that I love and always return to. I was listening to bands like Massive Attack, Portishead, 07, and then also I was being introduced to new artists like Jack Garrett and Mo, a Danish artist I'm sure people know. And I love like the EDM scene. I love DJ Snake, I love Major Lazer. And
I've always been a big fan of Sia, so I was kind of listening to lots of different things, but the electronica part of it was what pulled it all together. And I feel for me, I've always been a pop artist. I'll always be a pop artist, no matter what. But I've had fun just having a little dalliance with different genres. And I've done some rocky stuff, some more acoustic stuff. And it was just time to go a bit more in an acoustic direction. In an electronic direction.
Sure.
On the 5th of November of 2018, Melanie C, along with the Spice Girls, announced a reunion tour. She and ex-bandmates Melanie B, Emma Bunton, and Jerry Halliwell reunited for the Spice World Tour for a 13-day tour. After finishing the Spice Girls tour, Melanie released High Heels in 2019, a song that featured the drag act Sing in the Pink, and announced that she was working on her upcoming album. Her self-titled and 8th studio album was released on October 2 of 2000, peaking at number 8 on the albums chart. Her first top 10 album since releasing in 2003. The album spawned the singles Who I Am, Blame It On Me, In and Out of Love, Fearless, and Into You. The album received positive reviews by music critics. Some praised the album, saying it was one of Melanie's best efforts and gave a great rendition to pop music. To promote it, Melanie embarked on a tour that began on February of 2022 after canceling her 2021 tour due to the COVID pandemic. In addition to her solo projects, Melanie has appeared as a judge on X Factor Australia, Asia's Got Talent, and The Voice Kids. She has been a contestant on Dancing with the Stars, and as an actress, she was nominated for an Olivier Award for her performance in Blood Brothers in the West End, and starred as Mary Magdalene in a tour show of Jesus Christ Superstar in 2012. Recently, Melanie released her first autobiography called Who I Am, My Story, which instantly became a bestseller in the UK. Okay, so what do you guys think about Melanie C's solo career? She has always been my favorite Spice Girl. And as a solo artist, I think she has been amazing. She has tried a lot of genres. She never leaves her Sporty Spice vibe out of her music. She has released great albums. Lots of them have been very underrated, but I think that her music has always been very inspirational. What do you guys think? What are your favorite albums, your favorite songs? My personal favorite is her debut album Northern Star, and my favorite song is Northern Star too. I know, a little cliche, but I grew up listening to that album. It brings back so many great memories, and like I mentioned, I was able to see her live here in Mexico City a few years ago, and you have no idea how much I enjoyed that concert, how my inner child was screaming because I was fascinated by seeing this woman singing her most iconic songs, and even some Spice Girls songs too. So I think she has a perfect career. I hope she releases more music this year. She's so fabulous. She's talented. She's a great songwriter. She has one of the best voices out there. So I don't know. Let's hope for another Spice Girl reunion and more Melanie C's solo albums. I hope you guys enjoyed this Spice Girl series. I had a lot of fun doing it and reminiscing about their solo careers. Please let me know your comments and your thoughts, and what else would you like me to talk about next. Don't forget to subscribe, give me a big thumbs up, and well, once again, thank you so much for watching.